I see parents want the best for their kids. And I see that they put a lot of effort into that, and they try to support them at home. They try to support them with extra lessons, music lessons, going to the stadium, doing lots of different things. And that's great. But if the child doesn't have a love of learning, if they don't have a love of sport, if it's not within them themselves, the drive is different, and therefore the result is different.
Welcome to Voices in Learning podcast. Let's explore what learning really sounds like. Today's episode is an exciting one and an interesting one because it's a topic at the heart of every school, which is how to truly support children, not just academically, but holistically, socially, and emotionally. So today, we have the founder of Priory Prep, a school who has intentionally created an environment to support children to thrive. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Alice Dina is a dedicated educational professional with over 21 years of experience in the field of education. She's also the chair of Friends of Ireland and is a point of contact for the Irish diaspora in Lagos. With a passion for fostering academic excellence and personal growth, she has made significant contributions as a teacher, board member, and school director. Alice has lived in Lagos for the past 20 years and has established her own international primary school.
I will really want to know what inspired Priory Prep. Is it based on a personal experience, or you're trying to close a gap?
I think it's probably a bit of both. So I'm a teacher, so that's my passion. And that's what I do well. Starting my own school, I felt that Lagos needed a school where the children came first, and that the decisions made for the school were kind of driven by them and what they needed and the support that they need. So that was it. And also because when I was in secondary school, the first secondary school I went to was an all-girls private school, and I was truly miserable there. Even though it was very small and we had a lot of attention, I met people from another school, a much, much bigger school, while I was in a summer camp. And I came home and I said to my parents, that's where I want to go.
The bigger school.
I want to go because these kids seem really happy and very relaxed and confident within themselves. And so I ended up going to this very, very large school. And even though the classes were bigger and even though it was a state school, my grades were actually much better because I was really happy. So I wanted to create a school that was happy, where children could thrive, and children can only thrive and they can only learn if they feel safe and if they feel happy.
So how has it been? How many years now?
So the school is in its 12th year.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is a long time. I mean, I've been living in Nigeria for 20 years this year.
You're basically Nigerian.
So, and I've worked in other schools here and I've worked in schools in Dublin. But it's been a journey. I mean, when we opened, there was Ebola, and then
Ebola period.
Yeah,
I remember that period. So how did it go at the time?
Well, we couldn't open.
Okay.
Really, we had to kind of wait and see how things went, and then we just had to be really careful. And I suppose in some ways, it was easier for me than it was for the big schools because I think I started with like 12 children.
Oh, that is a good start.
Yes.
So,
and then we had COVID along the way as well. And I was the principal for 7 years, and then I needed someone else to come in with a different set of skills, because you need to know your own limitations and you need to know that you can't do everything. And so at that stage, the school had grown and it needed somebody who was very good and interested in administration. And I wanted to focus on the vision of the school, which was to create a thriving learning environment for confident, happy, polite, respectful children.
So how have you been able to push this vision into your team? I mean, the like
the teachers,
the principal, the teachers, and every other person?
Well, you have to communicate it. Communication is such a huge part of the education industry. Communication between admin and teachers and different types of teachers, because you've got subject teachers and class teachers, and then you have to bring them along. So it's not just telling them, it's actually training them and putting the time in and helping them to understand new initiatives that you want to put in place and why you want to put them there. Because if you don't carry them along, they won't be able to give it their best. So, yeah.
So what would you say in terms of what does your school stand for? You know, some schools, they say, oh, it's just basically academics. Or some schools, they will say, oh, they don't, if a child is not thriving in academics, they can support with extracurricular or trying to bring out the whatever the child knows how to do best. So what would you say is your school? How do people see your school?
I think what the kids often say is that Priory feels like home to them. So it feels like they can be themselves. So what we try to do is find the talents that the kids naturally have and support them in that. You need to have a level of competition for certain things. You need to have a level of support as well. And not everybody's going to be brilliant at everything, and that's okay.
Sure.
And I think for Priory, I think one of the biggest things we have is that, you know, making mistakes is okay. It's okay to make mistakes, but you need to learn from them.
Sure.
And so it isn't so much that it would be known for academics, even though we've done very well. One of our children won the BIS scholarship last year into year 7. But we're also, there's a lot of sporting facilities within the school, and we have teams, and we were at TASG last week and came back with medals from that. We came 6th overall. So there's kind of something for everybody. So I'm not sure that they would call it a sporty school or a musical school or an academic school. I think it's
a combination.
It's a combination of things. It's a school where the children are allowed to be themselves. And I'm not saying unruly. I mean, the communications are the expectations are communicated to the children, and they're carried along. It's the same thing. It's communication again. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what will you say about supporting children? Like, how are you able to support children in your school? Or what does supporting children in school, what does it mean to you?
Well, first of all, the teachers have to be prepared. You have to employ teachers who enjoy children. That's a very big part of it. Okay. And then you have to support the teachers who can then support the children. So apart from having lovely classrooms and resources and things like that, you need to listen. And I think management and leadership within the school need to regularly go into the classrooms and see what's going on and see what's working and see what's not working.
Sure.
And when it's not working, you need to change it. And when you change it, you need to carry your staff along with you and you need to train them.
Okay, so some schools in Nigeria, at the end of the term or at the end of the school year, there's something they call Awards Day. So someone like me, I'm not a fan of just having one person as the best student in class or 2 people as the best student in class, because I think that doesn't, in terms of academics, some schools will say, oh, you're the best in this, best in that, but not academics. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's okay to celebrate the high flyers in class, or you think it's just there should be an award for every child?
I don't think there should be an award for every child, because there'd be no point in doing it then.
Okay.
Because what you're really doing is that you're celebrating excellence and effort, but you can do it for a range of different things. So you can have academic awards, and then you can have So academic excellence, and then you can have progress, because you're not dealing with adults, you're dealing with children. So children are still growing, they're still developing, both physically, cognitively, emotionally, socially. They're not there yet. And everybody develops at different rates and at different ages in different ways.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very important that not only do you celebrate the people who have excelled, but the ones who have put in a whole load of work and got from here to here. Because, maybe in the next few years, they might be the person who will excel, right?
Sure.
I don't believe that it's always going to be the same kid. And it's actually, I've seen it, it's not always the same child, because children who tend to excel tend to be intrinsically driven as well. So you can, I see parents want the best for their kids, and I see that they put a lot of effort into that, and they try to support them at home. They try to support them with extra lessons, music lessons, going to the stadium, doing lots of different things, and that's great. But if the child doesn't have a love of learning, if they don't have a love of sport, if it's not within them themselves, the drive is different, and therefore the result is different. So Priory is a place where we try to create a culture of loving what you do.
Which is very important.
Yeah, it is. And also, I think when supporting the children, you can't do it without the family. You can't do it without the parents. So again, coming back to communication, you need to carry the parents along with you. This is why we're doing this. This is what your child is doing now. And not to get too hung up on scores. It's important to assess where the children are. It's more important for the school to assess, because it tells us whether we have gaps in particular subject areas, or we're not doing something that we need to do. But a kind of summative assessment, a grade for a child this age, is not hugely useful. Unless it's used, if I say to you, okay, your child got, I don't know, maybe let's keep it simple, let's say 75% in French, and you're like, well, where did the 25% go? And I can tell you, and then you can support them if you so wish, right? But like I said to you, it's a journey, it's a learning journey. And if you don't allow children to make mistakes, and if you don't make it safe enough for them to make mistakes, they don't actually learn. They just kind of learn to please. And it's not the same depth of learning. So I think it's a big part of it is allowing the children to edit their work, to review it, to ask them what they think they need to do. And I think that works really well.
So how has it been with parents? Because I know parents are quite busy. Are they communicating? Are they responding? Because I know sometimes I check my child's communication book to see, okay, do I have anything from the teacher? But not every day. On the other hand, I tell him, go and sort out your homework, because I believe homework it's a follow-up of what has been taught in school, So how has it been with parents? I know there's some parents that are very busy. They come back home very late in the night. They're unable to see what's going on in school. So how have you been able to have a smooth communication with parents?
Again, carrying them along. There's a lot of communication. Some of our parents would argue there's too much communication. Stop sending me emails. Stop sending me WhatsApp messages. I think it's tough on parents. I don't think there are many families now where both parents don't work. I think most of them do. And I think that's tough. So I think keeping the homework doable, achievable, simple. If your child is spending, and they're in primary school and they're spending 2 hours a day on homework, is the school sending the work to the parents to be done? I mean, you have to ask that question, okay? Or has the homework been pitched too high for that child? Because every teacher is trained to differentiate. So it shouldn't be too difficult, but the onus is on the parent to come to the school and to say, look, this is really difficult, and they're crying. And if a child is crying doing homework, you're definitely not making any progress. In fact, you're regressing. So that would not be advisable. So the school at that point should really communicate with the parent and find a way forward. The school needs to have a level of flexibility because one size does not fit all.
True.
It doesn't work. At Priory, we have a policy where there is homework given at the weekend for those who want it, but it's not compulsory because some families, including my own, we believe that weekend time and holiday time is family time, where we could be doing things together. We could be learning new skills. We could be going kayaking. We could be, and so that kind of gives a little bit of breathing space to people, because they're young. They're going to be working for the rest of their lives.
I think kids are not, lately, in recent times, kids are not, they're forced into education. I mean, education is now chores for kids because you have to do it. You have to do this. You have to do that. So there's no fun anymore because it's so serious. But at the end of the day, what parents also look at, someone like me, if my child is struggling, how do I, aside having extra lesson at home, how is the school able to support my child? So how have you been able to support children academically with support and classwork if they're not doing well? How have you been able to support them?
I think your first port of call is the class teacher, and then there's usually a teaching assistant there to see what's going on. Go and watch the child in the classroom and say, okay, so this approach doesn't work with them, and clearly, maybe for example, they find handwriting very difficult. So when it comes to any writing task, they don't want to do it, or they go to the toilet, or they're tired, or they've got a tummy ache. And all of these things are signs that, okay, how do we make the curriculum accessible for this child? Okay. So it could be that they need someone to sit with them to grow their confidence in what they're doing. It could mean that there is a skill that's missing. Like what we often see is kids come in reception and they've been taught to write very early. Now, if you learn to write too early and your muscles in your hands have not developed the strength to hold a pencil properly, what happens is it becomes a strain and it becomes very stressful and it becomes a very negative experience for the child. So what happens is we have to go back then and we have to start all over again. Because what kids should be doing at that stage is puzzles and blocks and stacking and Play-Doh and developing, like monkey bars are great for getting kids to strengthen their hands. But their gross motor skills are really important as well.
Very important.
If you see that a child has very little coordination over their movements, and you see this a lot, how are they going to be able to do? How are they going to be able to write? So there's that. So then you have a learning support department that will come together, communicate to the parent, look, we've noticed this is what we think your child needs. And you get them on board. And they might only be in learning support for a certain amount of time. If it's a situation where you're doing everything you can as a school, but the child's not making any progress and they're over the age of 7, you will be looking at having an educational psychologist assessment done on that child, because I'm not qualified to tell you what the issue is. Only an educational psychologist would be able to do that.
So at what age do you start teaching them how to hold the pencil?
So you can teach them when they're ready. They pick it up themselves.
Okay.
But like what you'll see a lot of the time is in schools, maybe not so much in Nigeria, but you see lots of singing and playing and making letters out of other things, out of pasta shapes and things. This is all kind of EYFS stuff, right? Yeah, but it's also important. Like I see a lot of kids and they hold a pencil like this. Like they're never going to be able to do cursive handwriting that way. So you're going to have to go back. So sometimes pushing too early for things is counterproductive.
Yeah,
okay.
In Nigeria, we push everything here. Because I know some schools, they do age 4, 5. I don't know if that is what the age.
We only start at age 4.
Age 4, okay.
So some of our kids come in reception and some of them come in year 1. But we don't do nursery.
Oh, do you have nursery in your school?
No.
Oh, okay. So your school starts from age 4. Oh, okay. So do you think you are able to bridge any gap in education in Nigeria? Have you been able to do that?
Yeah.
And if yes, which gap have you been able to?
I think what people say about the Priory kids when they go to secondary school is that they're quite well adjusted. That there's not so much nonsense from them, I suppose. We try to teach them to be respectful to one another in the language that they use. And I think this comes also from the staff, the leadership, the management. You know, when I go in the morning, it's not just the principal I greet, it's the cleaners and the drivers and everybody else, everybody who is part of the school community. When there are birthdays, that child wears their mufti in and we celebrate them and the parent sends in cupcakes or whatever, but there's no party packs. This is not a competition for parents.
Yes.
Okay.
That party pack thing is a big deal. Yeah, it's usually competition in schools, you know.
It is a competition, but I think maybe I'm wrong, but sometimes it becomes a competition between the parents as well. And I'll be honest, the parents just have so much on their plate and they don't need that. They really don't need it, and the kids don't need it either. So they still get celebrated and they don't have to do their homework that day. And there's very simple things that you can do. What they also say is that they're quite good at handling themselves, like staying away from undesirable behavior. And we try to educate them about social media and cyberbullying and what to do in certain situations and how to handle it best. Because you're preparing them, you know, it's a big transition from year 6 into year 7. So you're not just teaching kids academics. I think sport is a huge part of discipline. And it's a huge part of learning the role of respect. You know, your coach makes the decisions, accept the decision that has been made. And I think if teachers, you know, it's hard on teachers. It's difficult because they're up early and they have a lot of kids and they're responsible and they've got to make sure that every child makes progress in every lesson. And so that's quite a lot of responsibility to have. So sometimes they get impatient and they might shout. The louder a teacher gets, the louder the kids get. This is really counterproductive. But also, if a teacher is not respectful to a child, why would the child be respectful? So I think they're quite good at that. I think they're good at, if they don't agree with the decision that you've made, they're able to communicate it respectfully. And then we can look at the code of conduct and we can say, okay, well, where do we go from here? And they're involved in the whole process. Doesn't mean they get to decide on it. Sometimes they don't like it. Yes, there have been kids suspended before, but it's all, again, it's degrees of how you deal with things.
So how do you, for kids who break the rules, what is your mode of correction and how do you deal with the parents?
So it depends how grave the mistake is. I mean, if you're going to go along the corridor and God forbid somebody punch somebody else in the face, right? That's an immediate suspension. You can't go and do that, okay?
Yes, yeah.
And your parents will be called in and it will be discussed and all of that. If it's a pattern of behavior that develops and it starts with maybe a demerit, okay?
Yeah.
And that's communicated directly. It comes through to the parent's phone. Or it could be that a privilege is taken away. We have golden time at the end of the week. If you're not well behaved, you can't have golden time. You sit and you fill out your reflection sheet as to why you weren't allowed to do that at that time. I think parents feel affronted if they don't know why.
Okay.
Or if they don't agree with the way that it was handled. And if that's the case, I think the parent should be allowed to come into the school and have a conversation about it. But again, that conversation needs to be respectful between the parent and the school as well.
Very important.
It is very important. And actually, I have a massively supportive group of parents. I don't know what I would do without them. They give up a lot of their mornings and time to devote to talking about things that need to be addressed and whatnot, but also supporting the school and also communicating with other parents and saying, Priory does it this way because. And that's fantastic to have that.
Because they know where you stand. So yeah, they tell other parents that this is the way it is done here. So you have to accept this is how it is done, right?
Or if you're not happy with it, go and see the principal. Go in and see him. He'll always be there. And if you can't see him, there'll be somebody else, or, and I'm around the place a lot of the time. But again, like I said to you before, I don't have an office in there because it's not just that. I think sometimes when it's your own business, it's difficult to look at things completely objectively, and so you get in the way. So you need to be able to listen and view and overview everything and take everything on board before you get involved. Yes.
Okay. I have exciting news for students. EPIS is officially partnering with Voices in Learning this season. Drum roll! As part of this partnership, students traveling on the London route can now enjoy a 15% discount on flights with EPIS. To qualify for these student discounts, individuals must be enrolled as a full-time student in accredited educational institution in the UK, Europe, USA, or Canada. This initiative is about supporting dreams, easing travel for students and families, and making global education more accessible. For more information, visit www.flyedpeace.com or click on the link in their bio. Thank you. Okay. So for your students, like you mentioned now, everybody knows Priory Prep kids, they're well together, they're put together, they speak the right words. What do you do in terms of bullying? You have kids that bully other kids in your school. Bullying is a big deal. All over the world, not just in Nigeria. So yes, I will hear parents say, I don't want my child to go to this school because they have lots of bullies. I don't want my kids to go to this school because I don't like the way they expose their parents in terms of, these kids, they see everything going on in the house. They're able to say, oh, my father is this name, my mom is this name, da 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 da. So I don't want my child to have any form of emotional meltdown, because of what is going on around them. So for Priory Prep, how do you manage kids coming from this part of the family where they see everything they're allowed? How do you manage bullying? Because definitely there's bullying everywhere.
There's bullying everywhere. It exists everywhere. But if you don't deal with it, it becomes a much bigger problem. Usually with bullying, the first port of call is, of course, to talk to the child, but also to the family, whether it's a single parent or both parents, whoever is involved, and then to come on an agreed way forward. Also, children who are bullying or displaying bullying behaviour towards somebody, they need to take accountability. They need to take responsibility for what they're doing, both in written format, and then they need to make it right. So that's always my question with kids. Okay, so you've done this, you're not proud of it, we've established that. How are you going to make it right? Like, what are you going to do? Because I'm not the person who did it. I can't fix it for you. And I do think that is part of the problem with kids nowadays. The parents keep removing the obstacles out of their way, and not allowing them to take responsibility for what they've done. So with bullying, you need to give children someone to go to. You need to give them ways forward. You need to teach them what bullying is so they can recognize it and they can call it out. So I would often say to the year 6s going into year 7, you're going to go into a school, you're going to meet kids who are not from Priory, and they're going to be different. The way that they speak, the things that they do, the way that they handle things is going to be different. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if this happens, right? And I said one of the most effective ways of dealing with bullies is to call it out and say, why are you using nasty words? Why are you trying to bully me? I said, call it what it is. You know, if someone makes a comment about your color or how dark you are, ask them why they're being racist. You know, you can't stop. Don't be afraid to say what it is, because, and then the other massive problem that, and I've seen it, not so much in my school, but in the secondary schools, is this culture of standing by and watching it. And we've tried to tell the kids, if you stand there and you watch someone else being bullied, you're actually just as bad. You're enabling it. You're an enabler. And I do know that some of the schools, the secondary schools, will suspend kids for doing that, for just standing there and maybe filming it, or just not making the situation any better.
Not calling an adult, or calling or stopping the situation.
Not taking any responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and we have these discussions over and over with the kids about choices. You know, sometimes the child will say, yeah, but you know, I didn't have my pencil case today. Why did you not have your pencil case today? That's part of the things that you need. It's your responsibility. So therefore, you are in the wrong. You might have forgotten it. It may have been an accident, but you need to learn from it. So maybe you didn't get your homework done because there was no light at home. So the proper thing to do in that situation is say to the teacher in the morning, may I please have some extra time? This is what happened. And usually a parent will know to send an email or to send a message and say, you know, Adriana wasn't able to do, please give her extra time. There's no teacher in the world who's going to say no for something like that. So it's about being reasonable. It's about respecting everybody and not just thinking that it's one rule for you and a different set of rules for everybody. It's about creating a community.
Yeah, I know, but if you create a community that you all have like minds, like mission.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so definitely everything is going to work smoothly in terms of supporting the children, right? So that is the community you've built in Priory Prep.
It is, and I think everybody comes from different homes nowadays. So you need to be respectful of how much you communicate outside of the school office. Who's included in that communication? Okay, not everybody needs to know that this child is adopted, or not everybody needs to know that, you know, the parents recently divorced. It's not anyone's business. Let the child just be the child within the school. It's very important for the school to have information. What they do with that information determines how many different types of family can attend the school. You know, and I think when people join a school, when you have information mornings, so we have we have a reception information morning, because EYFS is different to the curriculum, to the English curriculum. Then you have a maths information morning, because the way you learn maths and the way that I learn maths is different to the way kids learn maths now. Assessment is, UK assessment is very strange, because it's done on standardized age scores, and instead of having A, B, C, D, it might be a score between somewhere like 90 and 140 or something like that, and helping the parents to understand the system that they're in as well, and not just kind of throwing things blindly at them that that they're not into education. So how would they know?
We've learned how to be part of education. So schools homework has sent us, as in sending homework home, we are also back to school because we need to learn some things. When the kid says, "Mommy, can you support me with this?" we should be able to say, "Okay, let me just look at it." Maybe just a bit of support for the child to be able to get it back, But at the end of the day, some kids will say, "This is not how my teacher taught me, so I'll take it back to school." So even when you're teaching them the right thing, they will say, "Oh, I want to go back to school because my teacher taught me how to do this. I'm only going to follow the way my teacher taught me," So I know we are also learning from homework. We're learning from them. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? So let's say you have an 8-year-old and your 8-year-old keeps watching the television. You're like, "I know you have homework to do. Okay, get the homework done." "Yeah, I'm going to do it in a minute. Gets to 7:30 and you're like, "It's bedtime." Okay. "Oh, Mommy, I didn't do my homework." Okay. Would you then sit down and help him with the homework? Or would you say, "I told you, I warned you, and now it's bedtime and now you have to go to bed. And tomorrow you'll have to go into school and face your teacher without your homework done"?
Okay, so as a Nigerian mom, I would allow him watch TV without getting the homework done. So there are times that my son comes to say, okay, after watching TV, then he comes, go to bed. "Oh, Mom, I've not done my homework." Then you take it back to school. Then you bear the consequence, because for every action there is a consequence. So this is your action. Go to school, go bear the consequence. But if I still have time for him to do the work, I'm not going to help. I tell parents, I will not help my son do his homework. I can only support. And how do I support? Okay, you read this, you don't understand, we can read it together for you to have a better understanding, But I won't sit him down to say, "Okay, this is the answer, then this is," because at the end of the day, that is not the purpose of the homework. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're in the minority.
Coming in?
You're in the minority.
Okay, maybe because I have time. I'm very involved. I'm a very involved parent, so I like to know what is going on in school. So I can tell you my source topics in science, social studies. I can tell you what he's been learning, because we learn together at the end of the day. But I know a lot of parents are busy. I do school runs. I do pick up all the time. So while we're in the car, we're talking about what happened in school. Were you in trouble? Did you write any tests? What did you do in school today that you're not okay with? He's always in trouble. So how many times were you in trouble? So we don't even ask. I don't ask him again, "Were you in trouble today?" Because I know something would have happened. And he will come to say, "Oh, I was on my own. Someone came to me." And I'm like, "Why are they always coming to you? Did you go to him or did you go to her?" So we have conversations that at the end of the day, there are things that he doesn't even want to say, but because we are talking, he ends up saying it. And whenever he tells me things, I try as much as possible, even if it's not something that is so good, I try as much as possible not to make him feel bad, because I want him to talk. But we just look for a way to address it, that this is not nice. Next time, don't do this. Then I call the teacher to say, "Oh, I heard this." So sometimes, because I also communicate with the teachers, so the teacher communicates with me when he has done something wrong to say, "Oh, did he tell you this?" And I'm like, "You didn't tell me this. What happened?" "Oh, Mommy, I forgot." Try to tell me things.
Yes.
We would always figure it out at the end of the day. So I know supporting from home is also a big deal, because we can't dump everything on the school to support the children. So supporting from the house also makes everything, as it's a collaboration at the end of the day.
It's a partnership.
Yes.
Yeah. It certainly is.
Yeah. So I have some questions I wrote down. Just three. Okay, I think three questions. Yeah. 3 questions. Do you think most schools are failing children today?
No, I wouldn't agree with that. I think within the private school sector, I think that schools are trying to give parents what they want. And in doing so, that might not be the best thing for the child. It depends on what you're giving them. Okay. And that's difficult because just over 30% of schools are private here, right? So, but it's very much based. There doesn't seem to be much funding from the government and stuff like that for
Public
schools. Even for private schools, because in lots of other countries there would still be some level of subsidy for them because you don't have enough public schools for everybody to attend. So like if you were to shut all the private schools now today, where would everybody go? Right? So I think that is a big driving factor, is that they want to give the parents also what they want.
What they paid for at the end of the day.
Yes, but if you think about that, like you said to me at the beginning of this about the vision of the school. So when you go to a school, you buy into the vision of the school. Like when I took my kids to secondary school, I said to them, make sure that you're okay with the rules of the school. I don't want you to tell me afterwards that you don't want to wear a tie and you don't want to wear black shoes, okay, because it was there and you bought into it and you are part of that system now, okay? So there'll be bits that you like and there'll be bits that don't sit so well with you, okay? But you have to find a way to work together. Otherwise you're working against each other. So I don't think that they're failing the kids, but I would like to see the children being the driving force behind more of the schools.
Of the schools.
Yes.
So what is one harsh truth about education that people don't want to hear?
Gosh, there's so many.
Okay. So you can just give us as many as you can remember.
I think about education, good teachers. They're not doing it for the money because there's not very much money in it. And so when you get good teachers, they're like gold dust because they have such a huge impact on your child's development and growth. So I think it would be great to see them not so much appreciated more, but respected within their field for being the professionals that they are. I mean, they went to university and they learned how to do this. This is what they do. They are a professional. It's a bit like, I feel a bit sorry for doctors at the moment because so many people go in and go, I have malaria. Why are you here?
I know what's wrong with you.
So I think, they're saying Google says I have this, right? And everybody's suddenly an expert in things. And it would be better if the families and the parents trusted the people who were in charge of the children's education.
Okay. So if you could change one thing about Nigerian schools instantly, what would it be?
Ooh. Why is it Nigerian schools?
Okay, because we're in Nigeria at the moment.
I think, okay, because it's about here, I would like to see more intrinsically motivated children and less parents competing amongst themselves through their children. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, I like that response. And it goes to the Nigerian parents, because at the end of the day, in schools, you see the kids are also product of what they see at home, the parents, So in as much as the school is really trying to say, this is the way, these are the things you should say, these are the things you should know, this is how you should dress, this is how you should behave, this is how you should be compassionate. But coming from typical Nigerian parents, it affects the children. So I think you give them the right response.
I don't think it's particular to Nigeria. I think when you hit private schools anywhere in the world, there's a lot of competition. Competition in the cars that the parents drive to school. Competition in the events that they go to, in the labels that the children wear. I mean, secondary school now, I mean, you've got kids coming home and saying they want a t-shirt that's like $85, and you're there going, what? Why? And there's a different kind of bullying that has entered that age group, and people are rated and they're ranked, and it all comes back to, you know, social media. It all comes back to that, and I think that's really hard for the schools to manage, because it's still quite a new thing. You know, my daughter said to me yesterday, she was like, "You have no idea what we're going through."
What is she going through?
You know, and
right?
And she was like, even if I tell you, and she does, she's like, you don't get it because you're not affected by the same things. Because you don't place any value on that, but we do. And I think that's, yeah.
Recently, what Stanley Cup has done to the world, it's a big deal right now, because everybody wants to have a Stanley Cup. Every student, because I believe while I was growing up, it's everybody should have a water bottle. So now, why do you want to take Stanley Cup to school? So now they go with Stanley Cups. Now they're grades to Stanley Cups. Some people have Swarovski stones on their Stanley Cups, you know. So these kids too, they're pressured, you know. They're pressured. So now it's now based on how the parents can help them understand that everyone can have it, but you don't have to have it. You must know what you need versus what you want.
Well, this is where my husband and I differ, because he is Nigerian. He grew up in Nigeria, and you know, he'll be like, "Look, everybody has one, so you know." And I'm there going, "I don't get it. I really don't understand it." And you know, when my son lost his water bottle, I was like, "Take a plastic bottle out of the fridge," and he was like, "No." And I went, "Well, go and buy one with your own money, because I bought you one and you lost it and you didn't look after it. So you need to go and get one." So I think, yes, it's very difficult for them. Are we helping by giving it to them? Or are we enabling what we don't want? And I do think that some of the schools help. The school my daughter's in, you have to have a clear water bottle. Stanley don't make clear water bottles. Okay, so nobody can have a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, my son's school also, they banned Stanley Cup, because it was becoming a situation of, oh, you have a fake Stanley Cup, I have the original, oh, mine has stones, yours don't have. Even to teachers, they pressure teachers also. They tell their teachers, oh, this is fake, oh man, this is, when the teachers tell them, oh, I went to a supermarket last week, or you go to supermarket, because they feel, oh, you know, so the pressure is everywhere, but it's more on just basically more on the children, because they also want to have what the peers have. And now it goes back to parents. Are we going to support them to, as in with the pressure, or are we just going to talk to them to let them know, you pressure yourself when you have your money, not with my money?
Yeah, and I think you have to develop a very clear value system at home, and within the school. And that's why we don't have the whole party pack thing, and we don't have all of that, because I'm fundamentally opposed to it. It's a distraction, and also it's really annoying for teachers, because you've got to store them somewhere.
It's a lot of work. Okay, so if you could change one thing about schools, so I don't want to say Nigerian schools here, about schools in general, what would it be?
I think I would like to make curriculums more flexible, because I think they're quite rigid and very demanding, and sometimes it doesn't benefit the child. So I think the more prescriptive it is, the more difficult it is to be able to carry everybody along and make it accessible. So yeah, I think, and that would involve, it's huge, it would involve changing the entire assessment system, because you can't you can't have an assessment system then where it doesn't, allow for flexibility. I mean, I'm a great exam taker, okay, because I'm very good at learning stuff. I would have been a great Nigerian student. I learn stuff and I regurgitate it, and I write it.
I'll give you.
Because the Irish education system was much the same for a long time. But gosh, you've got kids now who can give TED Talks. You've got kids who can hack into different computer systems. You've got kids building websites. You have children with clothing lines. There's a kid who was in Priory. He's in Atlantic Hall now, and he has his own NGO.
Wow.
And I mean, you've got young people who are motivated about changing the world around them. What would be great to see is more of an emphasis on humanity, on being human. And I do think that social media should be banned. I think it should be banned for kids up to a certain age, and you should have to go through some kind of education and training. Like, we don't allow kids to get in cars and drive them.
Sure.
But you could do the same amount of damage with a phone or a tablet or anything else.
Sure.
With hate speech, with grooming, it's just a quagmire of different difficulties. Yeah. So yeah, I think.
Okay, so I would like you to speak to our audience who are school owners, who just people that have vision to start a school. What will you say to them in terms of how to support children to be better, and also how to truly support them in schools?
Well, I don't think I can tell school owners how to be better, because I think if you're into education, you're constantly trying to do better. You're constantly evaluating and re-evaluating. And I certainly don't think that I have got it 100% right either. What I would say is spend a bit of time listening to the children, listening to what they're struggling with, listening to what they're dealing with. Sometimes the kids don't need tutoring. Sometimes they need a little bit of therapy. Sometimes there's something they want to do. They want to learn to dance, and they just haven't had the opportunity to do that. What I would say is well done to anybody who has opened a school and has set it up and is trying to run it with all the different difficulties and fuel crises and everything else that are going on. It is a mammoth task to run any kind of business through all of this. But you're making a big difference. You're making a big difference to the children, to the communities that you serve, and we're grateful. And I'm grateful to the other schools who collaborate with us and work with us, and who send their kids for friendlies and different competitions and spelling bees. And I think collaboration between the schools, more of that, please. That would be great.
All right. Thank you for joining us on Voices in Learning podcast. We would love to know what stood out for you. Connect with me, share your thoughts, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, let's keep exploring what learning really sounds like. Thank you.